Hey, welcome back to PaddyG DIY. This episode is all about the wall. Hey, in this episode, the second in my home office makeover series, we're finally going to get some paint on these walls, and I'm going to show you some tips and techniques to help you prepare a wall like this for paint. This is a bare concrete block wall. Painting a wall like this is about 90% preparation. So let's get to it. In the 1980s, these foundation walls were covered with a fiberboard paneling, which was nailed to 1x2 furring strips, which were attached to the walls with concrete nails. As you can see, what was left behind looks a lot like the surface of the moon. Not the mountainous parts maybe, but the plains. In fact, there were even a couple of small craters where electrical boxes had been mounted. We'll deal with these electrical issues at a later time. I plan to replace all this wiring with a brand new circuit on its own breaker. But let's get back to the problem at hand, and that's all these pock marks on this wall from the concrete nails that was used to hold up the paneling. While I want to get as smooth a surface as I can for the paint, I'm also a pragmatist. This wall is never going to be perfect, so I'm going to roll with that. I have all this overhead plumbing that I don't want to move, and I like the look of painted concrete block. The overall effect is kind of a commercial look. So instead of a super nice dressed out finish, I'm going to leave a little history, a little 80s character. So this wall is really in excellent condition considering it's 57 years old. It's in a corner which is prone to stair stepping, and it's literally had tons of water pushing against it for decades. There's no stair stepping, there's no mortar cracks, there's no separation issues from the pad. All in all, it could be a lot worse. We use a cement patch that I got from Lowe's. It's called the Fast Setting Cement Patcher, and it's made by Sakrete. It's made for sidewalks and steps repair, but the instructions specifically say it can be applied vertically. And it'll be ready for foot traffic in 4 hours. Does that mean I can walk on the walls? I've never done that. The instructions are fairly simple. Chip away any loose pieces. Apply it with a minimum temperature of 40 Fahrenheit, which is 10 degrees centigrade for all our European brothers who do DIY. Remove sealers, paint, oil, etc. Now I gotta fess up here. I got so excited to see some color on these bare walls that I started applying the dry lock, and it outlined perfectly the bad places in the walls. And so I thought that was a good idea. It wasn't. The cement patch will stick a lot better to bare concrete. It'll probably still stick over this paint. Worst case, we'll do a video on how to grind out these spots with a grinder and reapply it. Number 4, roughen the areas where you're going to apply the patch. Well, it don't get much rougher than a concrete wall. And you dampen the concrete around the area where you're going to apply this patch. And that's it. You're ready to go. So I have a question for you. How does dampening the area around where this concrete patch is going to be applied help this patch stick? The answer may surprise you. The capillary effect. The capillary effect is the movement of a liquid among the surface of a solid because the moisture molecules are attracted to the molecules of that solid. Mass has gravity, and solids have more gravity than liquids. Now the surface I'm talking about is not the face of the block. It's the surface of every pore and nook and cranny and passage and hole through these blocks. Now these blocks are not solid. If you bang your head on it, it's going to hurt. They're solid in that respect, but these blocks are hollow. A better word would be porous. You know how I know that? Because water will leak through these blocks. And that's why we seal them. Because water will leak through the capillary effect, through these blocks and into our living spaces. So we're wetting the surfaces of these areas where we're going to apply the patch to promote and kickstart this capillary effect, which is going to draw moisture from the concrete patch, and along with it brings solids of the patch material into these nooks and crannies. And these nooks and crannies are going to grab this stuff and it's going to hang on, it's going to squeeze it real. I apologize, people. I'm a geek. The strangest things excite me. Let's just get to work. For the concrete patch, you're going to need some water to mix it. You're going to need the patch itself, a spray bottle or a paintbrush to wet the surface of the block with water. To apply the dry lock, you can use a stiff bristled masonry brush to get into the corners to trim it with. And you can use a roller refill that's made for semi-rough to rough surfaces. And I got a 3/4 nap. Now the paint can be applied just like any other wall, except this is a rough surface. Again, use the right roller refill for the job. And I'm going to go again with the semi-rough to rough surfaces and just see how it looks. I can go back and recoat the paint with a smoother nap roller if I don't like the way it looks. And I got some disposable plastic drop cloths. Okay, so let's talk about these big holes. These two are a bit of a problem. I can't just put the cement patch in here. It won't stay up and maybe even fall into this crevice. I've got to come up with something to come behind here and limit the size of this cavity. Let me see what I can do. Oops. Okay, we're going to wait for this adhesive to dry, and while it dries I'm going to mix some patch material and start hitting some of these smaller areas. Okay, I got all the holes filled, including the two big ones. Let's take a look. So there's one of the big ones. Seems to be staying up well. And I got all these down along the bottom. Looks like bullet holes. I assure you it is not. And got some more patchwork there. And again over here. I seem to detect, check me on this, do you see a little bit of slump on the bottom of that? I hope not. I was kind of dreading doing this block patching, but it really wasn't that bad. It took me maybe an hour to do it all. I mixed small batches in a handheld tray, you saw it. Now I'm not quite done with this. In the morning, I'm going to come back and take a stone and hit the edges and smooth the edges of these patches up. I'll let you know if these two large patches slid off the wall. I don't think they will. Okay, so what's next? Going to finish dry locking, and then we're going to add some paint to this joint. It's going to be cool. Oh, I got to go to Lowe's, get some paint. Burnt umber. Okay. Check on our work from last night. Well, it's still there. Oh yeah, solid as a rock. Okay, doesn't that look tidy? No, I'm not talking about the wires. I'm talking about this nice clean corner here. Isn't that nice? Yeah, you can see a little little character in the wall. That's okay. That's okay. That's the way we decided to roll on it. And turned out really, really good. I can live with this. This is perfectly acceptable. There's a hole I missed. I didn't patch that. Believe me, I've seen a lot worse. So that was pretty cool, right? We got a lot done this weekend. Thank you all for coming along. It's been my pleasure to share what little bit of information I have, what little bit of knowledge I have. Thank you. And hey, we're over 100,000 views now. Now I know that's not much on YouTube. Well, I mean, there's people with, I don't know, 1 billion views. I don't know what the high number is, but it's millions certainly. And but you know what, it means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that crazy stuff. When you do, YouTube notices and they promote my channel. And I saw quite a few people, when I was looking at the demographics of the channel, I saw quite a few people from Europe. Thanks for watching. You guys leave me some comments, tell me what you think of the video, what you think of the project. If you've got any ideas about what I can do here, this room's going to be work. It's going to be a ham radio room. It's going to be a place to edit and maybe even shoot some YouTube videos. So it's going to be a multi-purpose room, and I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to get all that working together. So if you got any ideas on that, let me know. If you see any good videos on that, let me know. Just put it in the comments down below. Now I think I'm done. Thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. See you next time.